whoever booked her specifically, maybe they killed that person with Red.
I bet that everybody had a proxy,
Yeah.
where like if you say this, they kill you. If you cross the line too many times, we'll kill you, but you get a couple points and we'll just kill someone you love. Then that's okay.
Kirsten has to write another apology letter to the family of Mahmoud.
They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread and butt sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.
So here's something that's relevant to this show's interest, I feel like. So is Zach Bryan being canceled by Patriots right now? Is that something that's happening? He's
based on 3 comments I saw.
Yes. He's gone woke. Yeah.
Dude, I'm so hype about this. I have a real personal interest in it.
Well, keep going. Tell me more.
Okay. I mean, we're going to get past all of the patriotism stuff. We can circle back to that. But when they attempted to cancel this man the first time, I don't know if you guys recall this.
We talked about that on
when he got arrested.
No, it was
he got canceled from the left.
A girlfriend thing.
A woman named Brianna Chicken Fry.
And I thought you were talking. And I thought you were talking about Zach Brown the whole time. I think because her name was Chicken Fried or whatever.
Yeah,
and I was so confused.
Which is funny because it just went the other way around. Like she named herself that and then just decided to go get her a country star. So just to recap for everybody, a woman named Brianna Chicken Fry, who's from fucking Rhode Island and is Italian, was dating Zach Bryan, accused him of abuse. Then the details of which came out, he threw her phone and yelled at her and told her what to wear on the red carpet, supposedly. And then she started a podcast that was abuse victim centered. And that thing is no more. Then she started putting out diss tracks against him on Barstool. In my own home, that caused, I wouldn't say a rift, but just like a week-long. And let me tell you another thing about a bitch Yankee named Brianna Chicken Fry and where she can go. And my whole point the whole time was we got to believe all women, but as Bill Burr, rest in peace, said, or 85% of them. And also, you're describing shitty behavior, but not monstrosity type behavior.
Right.
I don't think you can start a podcast because a guy yelled at you.
Yeah.
And then now that he's back and he's saying fuck ICE and cops are bastards, he's trying to be canceled from the right. And I'm like, and let me tell you another thing, Andy, that we haven't addressed on this. Where's her podcast? It's been 4 months and it's gone.
Right.
Well, it's what I said then. It's what I said now. If a bitch from Dandridge, Tennessee started calling herself Shoney Pepperoni and then said someone slapped her around, we'd be like, I don't know. Maybe it was the pills talking. Right. And then a week later, she was like, well, he didn't slap me. He yelled at me. We'd be like, you don't fucking say Brianna Chicken Fry from Connecticut. Well, anyway, I'm back. I think what I said to Andy this morning was, wonder what she said to him when he threw the phone. Huh? Yeah. You think maybe she said something like, why don't you go back to the Oklahoma mud where you came from, you square-jawed, no-talent piece of shit, and it made him throw the phone one time? Did you think maybe that happened?
No one's ever thrown a phone after someone said, hey, what should we do for dinner? You know what I mean? No one's ever done that, I don't think. And by the way, to go back to
maybe like a Joe Pesci character and lived in the 50s or something. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Told you 3 times what I wanted for dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You shouldn't even have to ask. You should just know. But you fucking hood and throw a cord in
Zach Bryan, other than he's Taylor Swift for boys who wear square-toed cowboy boots, and that all his songs sound the same, which is true. By the way, I've owned several pairs of square-toe boots. I just ain't having it. I ain't having it from here on out. That man climbed a double barbed wire fence recently in an attempt to whoop Gavin Adcock's bitch ass. And now he puts out a song talking about, and he joined the Navy because he was poor and didn't have any better ideas.
Right.
That happens. Totally legit. And again, going back to Brianna Chicken Fry or whatever, he might have been problematic. I'm not suggesting there's no proof of that. I'm just saying that when they come for somebody and then the details start getting hazy and then they start dropping diss tracks and merch. She tried to sell merch based on her victimhood.
Oh,
and then now all the Patriots are coming from him. It's the same goddamn thing, which is they don't want a poor boy to shine and tell the fucking truth. They just don't want it.
Yeah. And you know, too, not for nothing, but like, as we've seen a million times, whether it be, you know, country star or a comedian or an actor, when someone gets in some like female trouble, like, oh, you were abusive or whatever, they often tend to lean the other way and go get with the Patriots because they know that they're going to, you know, welcome them. They're going to welcome them, and he's not doing it. So that's, to me, says like,
I hadn't thought of that. I guess the Patriots should be mad at him. They're the only ones who had his back when he was slapping women around.
But that makes me like him even more. You know, that it makes me believe that he's like, no, he's always just said his own truth or whatever, because like he's not considering that. Like he's like, I don't get fuck. Okay, maybe I did that, but you know, fuck ice. They don't hit.
Jokes aside, I think he's probably an asshole. I think we have enough evidence of that. But the song is hitting for me, and I think he makes good music. Not great. I think he's overrated, but I think he makes really good music, and I'm pumped. You did make a good point about who was defending him back then. It was me and then a gang of racists. And so I commend him. You know, I think he's just Shane Gillis, man. I think he's just like, they do stuff together. They hit for each other. Yeah. I think he's just Shane Gillis, where you go, hey, maybe sometimes people have thoughts that they mean, but they don't want to be involved in the culture war. Maybe there are people out there who are sincere but different than me. And because of their sincerity, they're not going to fall on one side of the fence or the other. Maybe a guy said a slur several times in a joke, but also thinks racism's real. Like maybe that guy exists. That's for the record.
I mean, a lid for every pot, dude. And like, man, it's so funny thinking about you and Andy arguing about that. I mean, it's because I can. Let me go back.
Definition, it's abuse.
I was about to say, let me go back. It's so hilarious for me to think of you dominating Andy in a conversation about this. But like, because I'm with you too on that Bill Burr's like, hey, I believe 85% of women. Something that really like helped me was because I kept hearing, you know, believe all women, believe all women. I was like, okay, now there's a lot of victims out there, but like, I don't like the idea of just if a woman says something, that means it's true. And then someone said, well, how about this? How about this? Instead of believe all women, take all women's accusations seriously. Like, don't just push them aside. And I was like, okay, I can get with that. You're right. You shouldn't just immediately go, this bitch, she's lying. But at the same time, don't be like, this guy definitely hit her because pepperoni tits said that she did. That's insane.
If we're doing sincerity now, I'll tell you how I really feel about that, because I've thought a lot about it even since the last time we talked about Bill Burr's line. I think it's believe 85% of women if there's fame involved. If there's not fame involved, we can jack it up to 95.
Absolutely.
And if there's fame involved, you can knock it down to 80 for me. Anytime there's fame involved, I'm kind of going, all right, so that's her legal name, Brianna Chicken Bra.
Right. Right. Like with when it's just like, you know, my aunt, it's like, well, what does my aunt have to gain by defaming my uncle who is nothing? He probably
maybe she just wants to destroy that motherfucker because, you know, that hits for them to do sometimes.
He's done it to himself. He don't need no help is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, but I'm just saying, you know, like talk to divorce lawyers and shit.
No, I know, man.
Yeah, but that rarely involves sexual or physical assault. Those destructions come from very different places. That they come from very normal ones where like vindictive people do vindictive things.
Right.
Anyway, whatever. I feel like I walked us. I feel like I opened a door and y'all just fucking
No. I was
actually through it.
I was about to say that it's very funny to me that like I was like, so what about Zach Brown's new woke lyrics? And Drew's like, dude, that fucking bitch that said all that shit about him fucking months ago. And then just 12 straight minutes of that.
Yeah,
like while briefly alluding to the thing that just happened along the way.
I told you, right.
You did acknowledge that was about to happen, but
he did. He said we got to go somewhere before we come back.
I feel how you're calling me out, and it's appropriate as the fucking resident feminist or whatever here on the WellRED podcast. Yeah, man, like you should get pissed off when people do shit like even afterwards she centered herself and was like, we're gonna have a podcast for victims, which she didn't follow through with.
Also, what a terrible podcast that would be.
My point is like that
sounds
takes
like a
away
laugh
from
riot.
the conversation. It makes us be able to Kool-Aid Man through the door I opened.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
So
as far as the song goes,
right.
I think it's pretty easy for him to claim, if he wants to later, that like the narrator has these thoughts. He says he calls cops cocky bastards, and then he just does almost a throwaway line of "Ice going to beat down your door." We're fading in the red, white, and blue. But like, it's hard for me to imagine anyone honestly looking at the state of things and being like, "Well, this is good for America."
No, I know, but they clearly do. But I think that all the time too. That's what I was going to say about him. It's like, I don't know. I've not been like I've heard those first couple of songs that broke him or whatever, and that first album about his mama or whatnot, and that all hit for me. But then that was around the time that my early onset papaw set in, and so I haven't like kept up with him or nothing. But just based on all that and what I knew about him, his background and all that, he like still hit for me as a concept and whatnot. And I just don't think that like you said, I think it's just Shane Gillis. I think the same thing about Shane Gillis. It's just like, yeah, just a generally like reasonable person, someone that's not like gonna, just like you have your team picked, and then so whatever they do, it hits for you no matter what. Like,
yeah,
I don't know about Zach Bryan. It's like you said, about Shane. You're like, oh, you can say racist slurs while fucking around on a podcast, but still actually think racism is bad. And it's like, yeah. I know a bunch of other people like that too, but yeah, right, exactly. But like Shane Gillis, I think he turned down the Saudi festival money and publicly said he did. They offered him double.
Talked about how we're stupid.
They offered him double the amount, and he was just like, "Isn't that the 9/11 guys, right?" It's like, yeah, no,
yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, I do think that was the conservative side of him. I think it is very funny for a guy to go, "Isn't that who did 9/11 first?" Versus another guy, Mark Maron, going, "Isn't that the people who killed that woke journalist?" Right. Like, it is interesting which one of those was your first.
No, I hear you. And that's actually, I don't know if me and Trey talked about this on Putting on Airs or whatever, but like it's so infuriating that like for years, these people were just like, we want to say racist things. Let us say racist things. And now and I'm like, why can't y'all be so racist that you think going to Saudi Arabia is bad? You know what I mean? Like, why are they trying now? They're all of a sudden these motherfuckers are being inclusive, and it's like, no, this is the time I want your papaw to come out and say, fuck these goddamn, yeah, it's the money. No, you're right, and that's true. You're right, Drew, and that truly is like, let's just admit it. That's the conservative value. Like that, when they say conservative values, it's literally value.
There's one more value in America that is mostly conservative, but I think is an American value. And this is where it got conflated with the sort of, I'm going to vote for Trump because I want to be able to say retard again.
Right.
They say free speech, but all they mean, and I mean this genuinely, I'm not trying to like gotcha, like genuinely what they meant, and they were calling it free speech, and they were saying they cared about free speech, is I want to be able to do what I want.
Right.
Now, there are times where wanting to be able to do what you want brushes up against people who want to suppress your free speech, but those are not the same thing. That's all this is. If you say how can you be so pro free speech and then you go to a country? No. For them, as they experience it, what's happening is, well, someone told me I couldn't say what I wanted back then, so I hated them. Fuck the woke libs. And now someone's telling me I can't go over there and do what I want, which is take money to do my comedy. Fuck those people too. They genuinely see that as the same exact thing, which means it's proof for a lot of them that there's no engagement with what free speech actually means. The other excuse, which I predicted correctly, coming from like the Burrs and the Louis C.K.'s, they got convinced before they ever said yes that this was like some sort of noble, almost liberal thing they were doing. Right. We are part of opening up this backwards ass place.
That I don't know which one of them figured that out, or if it was parallel thinking, or a publicist. It
also takes.
I think it got pitched to them that
they all shared that came up with it or whatever. But whenever they landed on that, it makes it even worse for me.
Yeah, me
because
too.
Because now it's like, you're going up your own ass about having done it. Like, dude, just fucking
now you're a good person.
Like Tim Dillon, before they kicked him off, he literally was like, they're paying me enough to look the other way. He's like, they're chopping off journalists' heads to the right. I'm looking to the left because they gave me this much money. Fuck if you like it or not. And it's like, that's honest. It's like, that's what, just say,
It's
look,
bad,
they gave
but
me a
it's
crazy
honest.
amount of money and I'm doing it. But to try to act like, no, actually what you don't understand is I'm a hero in this
Well,
scenario.
then do it for free.
Is
They
like,
believe it.
that's so
But they wouldn't have done it for
fucking
free.
crazy to me. And it, again,
You
it just
know?
makes it worse.
All right,
Like-
here's the pitch. Let me make the pitch for you from Dave Becky. And by the way, Dave Becky is the rep for most of these people.
At 3 Arts, right? Is that what it is?
So I'm Dave Becky. Here's what I say. Look, you look at history of any country that's opening up, China, Japan, there is this transitional period where American entertainers have helped that process along. And there's no reason you can give me right now not to be a part of that, because everything you can say bad about them is what these new people, these young people in the regime are trying to get away from. It's exactly why they're having you come over there. And I've been talking with them. I've got it down to where there's only 2 restrictions on your speech. When we started, there was 15. They are making progress. The only counter to that is, no, I'm being used.
Right.
But you got to be kind of savvy to see that, I think, immediately.
Right.
And or you got to not want to believe it. And if you give me a million reasons
Yeah.
to believe it, listen, the first time somebody would point it out to you, sure. But if you're not engaged in that, and I'm not saying these people are or aren't. I have no idea what Bill Burr knew about, and I'm not defending him. I've been all over Bill Burr for 2 weeks. I just cut a promo on his ass. But I'm saying if you aren't engaged in that until someone points it out to you, you could, because what someone can say is the regime cannot be defined. You know, is Nancy Pelosi the same as Donald Trump?
Same size tits, am I right?
Hey,
Yeah,
so the lie that you tell your client is, so the liberal version of their government, which I'll admit is not that liberal, wants you there. They are trying to modernize their country. Why not be a part of that?
right. But it's not just like Khashoggi or whatever a few years back or whatever. Like very recently, another journalist was
like
killed
a couple
by them
months
for talking-
ago.
Like very
Yes.
very recently. Also, what's up with women there? Like right now, you know, I know that a few
great.
years ago they let them start driving, so I guess maybe that's to
I'd
your
like to see the
point. They're
stats,
getting better, you know. But like I'm saying, I totally hear what you're, because I said that people on my Patreon asked me if when this all first came up, I was like, look, I know how I am. I could see myself being talked into believing, especially if there was a huge paycheck involved, that like, no, this is basically what you just said. It's like, this is, they're trying to do better and this is part of that or whatever. But I just feel like, I don't know, it makes for a good rationalization, but there's no actual evidence of that. I mean, again, maybe a little better than they were 10 years ago or whatever, sure, but still like real bad. Like,
No, I agree.
Like right now, it's still real bad.
Well,
So
and then
like, I don't know how you could, if you really looked into it at all, that you could actually believe that any of that would be the case. Because everybody knows what they're really doing is their entertainment. What, you know, oil can't last forever. They're trying to get into entertainment and have cultural influence and all that, golf and fucking you know, comedy. And now they just video games. They just fucking bought EA, one of the biggest video games
copying China.
Right.
Which is to not open up the country to any scrutiny or any outside influences, but to open up the country to business, which requires a PR campaign.
Yeah.
And I don't think you have to be that savvy to see that.
Right.
So I'm not really defending them. I'm just telling you what happened. The other thing that Bill said that bothers me more, because this is on its face horse shit. And I had to think about it and I had to look into it. Because he said it. He was like, it was fucking taxi drivers and citizens. I mean, the diplomats were there. There's nothing you could do about that. But it's just like fucking, there were 8,000 people there. And I was like, well, I don't believe you shouldn't perform in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
That's not a belief I have. I believe you shouldn't perform in Saudi Arabia for the king
or the regime,
under the rule
that
you can't make fun of the king.
Right.
Yeah. If they just had a chuckle hut there, go for it, you know.
It's me and Corey talked about this on POA last week, but it's another thing when it very first came up, I thought, you know, a thought that entered my head was like, well, you've been asked a similar question many times before by like our fans whenever North Carolina's fucking with
Right.
trans people or whatever else, and they're like, and we have a show in Raleigh or something, and people are like, you're not going to cancel that? Like, you don't think you should boycott North Carolina right now, whatever? And then we were always like, no, that's insane, because the people that are going to be at our show, especially, like, they hate that just as much as we do, and it's like you're punishing them for what their government does, which isn't cool. And it's like, again, if Bill Burr just made a tour stop in fucking Saudi Arabia or anywhere over there, just and sold tickets to come to some, like Corey said, the fucking Chuckle Hut or whatever, like theater, I don't think I'd have any kind of problem with it at all, really.
Be hard.
I know I wouldn't,
because of that rationale. But it's like you said, that isn't what this was. This is a concerted, like, fucking entertainment washing PR campaign on behalf of this brutal, human rights abusing, fucking totalitarian government they have over there, and people were paid in blood money to participate in it. So,
yeah. And then the final thing I'll say, a lot of commentators, I saw two that I like. One is an Egyptian comedian, Bassem. What's Bassem's last name? Anyway,
you said
the other one, yes.
Yeah, he was he got deemed the Egyptian John Stewart during the Arab Spring. He lives in LA and does a lot of shows around here now. And like he's
very funny.
He's very, like, he always crushes too. And it's
His
like
Comedians in Cars is one of my favorite.
I see him get up there and do, like, he'd be doing like political shit in front of a fucking drunk ass like improv crowd or whatever, like smart stuff, and he like hits with it.
Oh yeah, he's really. I think he's. I mean, I think he's brave. Anyway, he had this take, and then this guy I also really like named Gino the Ghost, who's a music producer, but he does like hot take clips, and he's just really funny, or he has a really funny writer. They both had this take, and I think this one is. I've been surprised by how many smart people either believe this or believe we can't see through it, and I'm not sure which one it is. But when you say, oh, you're going to turn your nose down at Saudi Arabia, like America's that much better.
Yeah.
That's not the comp.
Right.
The comp is if you perform for something put on by the Trump administration.
Right.
And one of the rules is you can't make fun of the Trump administration.
Right.
That's the only direct comp, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think most Americans, comedians, other than like Rob Schneider and Jim Brewer and those guys now, would be like, no, fuck that. Especially the I'm not allowed to make any jokes part. You know what I mean? Like, if it was their own country and their own president and everything, I think most of them would be like, no, man, I can't. That'd be a huge bitch move in front of all these people that know it.
Yeah,
just,
I mean,
just for one.
That kind of gets me to where I was going with that point. If you saw Theo Von do that, if you saw Rob Schneider especially do that, you wouldn't blink because you'd be like, well, yeah,
he's on board.
Didn't change. He didn't give up any part of his beliefs for that.
Right.
So if y'all aren't capping, as the kids say, if you're not jumping through these logical hoops, my conclusion is you are in line with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just like I would assume Rob Schneider likes Trump. That's why he would agree to do that in that scenario. So I think that, and when they say, no, you don't understand, like, I know that it needs to be a discussion, but things are getting better. It sounds like you actually approve of the Saudi government. That's what it actually sounds like.
I mean, you're there making them laugh. They're sitting up there, like Burr even said, which he's like, oh yeah, the princes, they were enjoying the show. I don't give a fuck. You know, like, what is that? Oh, you don't understand. The princes really liked our show. I'm sure they at least acted like they did. They just spent $1 gazillion on it. But like, why would that make you proud to entertain the?
I can go ahead and tell y'all right now that I would be so upset with myself if a prince liked my fucking show.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I was really giving him hell, but I felt like I was doing such a good job that he still let me live.
I was about to say, if you performed for a prince and you came back alive, I'd be like, I don't even know him. I don't even know this guy.
So on that note, let's shout out one person that everyone's been shouting out. Apparently, one of the people that got the most heat was Jessica Kirsten. Jessica Kirsten is a lesbian Jewish woman.
Mm-hmm. Trifecta
and
over there.
She made an apology. She made an apology where she essentially was like, I believed what we were just talking about, the argument of like, this is progress. They're trying. But I now see maybe I was wrong. But apparently, while there,
cash my check.
Apparently, while there, 2 people in the area from the diplomatics, so it's 2 people part of the government, not like the main guy, but 2 people got up to like go to the bathroom or something in the middle of her show while she was doing a joke about Grindr. And she said, "What are you guys doing? Going to check your Grindr real quick?"
Ooh.
And what sucks, let me tell you what sucks about that though. Doesn't it like almost, can't the rest of them fly under her balls? Be like, see,
right.
fucking, we're doing real comedy. It was like, well, no, Jessica was.
Right. Do you think in that moment that was that was just a comedic instinct, and as soon as she said it, there was part in the back of her mind that was like, oh shit.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because you'll
And let
say
me tell you what I
anything when you're
also
up there
think.
hitting.
But let me tell you what I also think. That would be no different than me doing that in a fucking right-wing room
Sure.
outside of Chattanooga at a bar. It would crush because the joke would not be, LOL, this place is crazy. You guys don't believe in gays. The joke would be, ha ha, fags.
Exactly.
Right.
And-
Yeah. Which hits.
Well, I don't know if it does or not, but
Well, I mean, for a crowd, you get a pop. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You're going to get a
especially
pop.
if you're a lesbian.
Yeah, you're going to get a pop, dude. But then you might also get popped outside the club. You know, which I've
But
been
you
on the
didn't
other
because she really was in that moment
side. Right.
being homophobic, which she can't be as a lesbian. I know that, but you understand what I'm saying. The joke
Yeah.
is get a load of these two homos.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
But the bravery lies in, hey, you just accused two very powerful people of being gay in a place where that you're not allowed to be.
Well,
gay.
yeah, you're not right. Like you can't
Yeah.
be that.
Or
Like,
talk
that's-
shit.
You know what they might have done is whoever booked her specifically, maybe they killed that person with rage.
I bet that everybody had a proxy, you know,
Yeah.
where like if you say this, they kill you. If you cross the line too many times, we'll kill you, but you get a couple points and we'll just kill someone you love. Then that's
Yeah.
okay.
Kirsten has to write another apology letter to the family of Mahmoud. Come to my
Man, in this
attention, they
economy,
invited
you
me
really got to
backstage.
keep a close.
They're just stabbing them in the neck,
on
staring
your
at
bank account. I mean, fast food is costs an arm
Well,
and a leg
let's,
to go out.
take a quick
you know
break,
what I
word from
mean?
our
And with all these
sponsors, and
apps,
come
you got to
right
have this
back.
app for this, and you got to have this app for that. It's like I don't know. It's very difficult, don't you think, Trey?
Nowadays, on the one hand, you would think it'd be easier because of apps and all that stuff. You know, you can pull your bank up at any time, but still, it feels like you don't know where all the money's going ever. You know, you can't keep up with it. There's just too much going on. One of the things that makes it incredibly difficult is the way that, speaking of apps, all these subscription services work out here nowadays in these streets. Anytime you find something cool on your little doodad there, your phone, you get it for the free trial. You think, yeah, I'm not going to pay for this. I'm not an idiot. And then, then it sucks you in. You don't want to see the ads on there anymore or whatever. And end up saying, all right, I'll subscribe to this. What is it? $3 a month. That's fine. I'll have a lot of fun with this. Next thing you know, it's 8 years later and you've paid them hundreds of dollars despite not using it since 7.5 years prior. I think we've all had that experience in the modern era. And I certainly know that I have. And that's why I want to tell you all about this week's sponsor, Rocket Money. Rocket Money does all the heavy lifting for you, finding you ways to save and simplify in the process in terms of canceling old subscriptions, tracking your expenses, and actually sticking to a budget. I've said before, when I got Rocket Money, I pulled it up and looked on there and I couldn't believe the trash that I found that I'd been paying for so long without using it hardly ever. Funniest example is one where I could put Cho's face on the various cartoon characters and other famous reaction gifs, which I did get some good use out of for, a couple weeks or so. And then I moved on to new ways of trying to torment Cho.
Mine
Kinda
was
lost
like
its
Swedish
luster.
Netflix or something. It was something real
Yeah.
dumb. It's a lot of them.
I had learn to play the drums app, which I've never once picked up a drumstick. I got that for my son who wanted to learn to play but of course that lasted 4 days and then it was over, but I'd paid for this drums app. It was on a, recurring yearly thing. I didn't even know or realize that. Boom, gave them hundreds of dollars for literally nothing. But Rocket Money put a stop to that for me, and I can put a stop to that for you as well. Help you get your finances under control. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money will show you all your expenses in one place, including those subscriptions that you forgot about. And if you see one you don't want anymore, Rocket Money will help get it canceled for you. Their dashboard lays out your complete financial picture, including the due dates of bills, paydays, all of that. It does it in a way that's easy to digest. If you got a goal you want to save up for, Rocket Money can analyze your accounts to find the best time each month to put a little extra money aside. They will even try to negotiate lower bills for you, and they'll talk to customer service so you don't have to do it. Rocket Money has saved users over $2.5 billion, including over $880 million in canceled subscriptions alone. Their 10 million members save up to $740 a year when they use all of the app's premium features. So cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/wellread today. That's rocketmoney.com/WellRED. Rocketmoney.com/WellRED. Make your money hit harder.
Y'all, this episode is brought to you by our friends over, and I'll go ahead and show you right here if you can look into my camera, Zippix nicotine-infused toothpicks. And boy, these have really, really been hitting for me because they bring you a very satisfying, convenient, and great tasting way to curb your nicotine cravings, which I have had every day now since I was, 13 or something like that. But now you can get it anytime. Like, people, like when you're on airplanes and stuff, you'd think like, oh, vapes have made it easier to get your nicotine fixed. And that's true, but people still look at you side eyes. Nobody's going to be looking at you weird if you got a toothpick, or if they do, I'm a redneck. We use toothpicks anyway. So if I'm going to, it may as well have stuff that hits in it. You know what I'm saying? It's more discreet. And it's not just that. It's not just that it's a great delivery device. It also satisfies that hand to mouth, oral fixation that none of us like to admit that is a huge part of it, but it totally is. And they're available in 6 great long-lasting flavors. This one right here, the cinnamon, might be my favorite because it reminds me of my favorite gum, which is Cinnaburst. I don't even know if they make Cinnaburst anymore, but that was my favorite gum. I liked it. Got a little spice to it, and when you're doing nicotine or anything like that, you want it to burn, in my opinion. But I got my mama hooked on the mocha ones. My mama, who has, by the way, never smoked or vaped a day in her life, just decided she wanted to try nicotine. And so I got her on the Zippix, and she loves them. They're one of the most cost-effective nicotine products on the market, and they are proudly made in the USA. And if you're not a nicotine user or you're trying to get away from your nicotine habit, Zippix also has caffeine and B12 infused toothpicks for a quick energy boost. So why don't drink your energy? Just pick it into your teeth. You know what I mean? They've already helped hundreds of thousands of customers get their nicotine fix without needing to inhale smoke or vape oil. So what are you waiting for? Give your lungs a break and try these great things right here. My friends at Zippix nicotine-infused toothpicks. Ditch the cigarettes, ditch the vapes. Get some nicotine-infused toothpicks at ZippixToothpicks.com today. That's ZippixToothpicks.com today. Get 10% off your first order by using the code WellRED at checkout. You must be 21 or older to order. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix nicotine toothpicks. Skew.
And we're back. So I know it's been a million years ago now, but the Zach Bryan thing, it's like, I see a lot of people say it, where they say, oh, Zach Bryan just Bud Lighted himself and all that, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, for one thing, Bud Light, like, still
they good. They're okay.
Dude,
yeah, right.
Shane Gillis.
And secondly,
yeah,
also specifically in his world, like Tyler Childers still hits perfectly for Jason Isbell's, the darling of all darling. Well, I don't, but he has been.
He still does fine. All these people do fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the idea that, I don't know, because I think they just know that they think he's like kind of a broy looking dude. He's in the country world, whatever, like that he just really torpedoed himself. But there's so much precedent for that just not being at all the case. And again, I think there's plenty of people who would argue that, sure, it might limit, he ain't going to do Morgan Wallen numbers if he's going to be all woke and not say the N word. So he is going to make less money, but he's going to still make plenty of money while also not having like a awful fan base that he can't stand and put up with that shit and everything. It's like some people, going back, it's on theme for this episode, like some people are all they care about is the money, and so they'll sell out and do whatever. But other people have like some actual integrity, and it's like at some point being legit rich is like that's enough, and you don't have to do anything.
And doing what you love,
and doing
like
what
being
you
rich
love
as fuck and doing what you love and sleeping at night.
And I need you to understand something real quick. He was selling more than Morgan Wallen. He just broke a record.
Okay.
He is huge.
No, we know that, but my thing is like some people can't. Not everybody, obviously, but there's some people that can't fathom that the goal for every. I mean, like obviously, if you could, everybody that's in the entertainment world, I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people, if they go, hey, if I could snap your fingers and make you as big as Dave Chappelle in comedy or Taylor Swift in music, most people go, oh, that'd be amazing. But these people can't fathom that like. That's not the only thing that drives people to make music and have this career like that. But they really do look at it as like, if you're not McDonald's, then you're not a successful restaurant. That's how their brain works, you know?
100%. I guess I was actually trying to like agree with Trey. Like I was trying to say
Yeah.
like, yeah, he has more money than you might think though.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, for sure.
He just broke a record, I think back to back for most at a live show because he was doing these stadium gigs. He's almost as big as Morgan Wallen.
Right.
Because you don't make money selling records anymore anyway. You make money touring. So you got to look at the live comps more than the record
the streams
sales.
and stuff.
Because
Yeah.
plenty of people will buy a Morgan Wallen record that won't go see him because they're old and they know he won't say the N-word in public because he's scared.
You're right. He's number 8 on the list in the past year, or well, last year. Obviously, number 1 was Taylor Swift, and then
where's Morgan on that?
He's I don't know. I mean, he's not on this top.
He's not 10. In the top 10.
Yeah, but it goes.
The other thing Morgan
Taylor Swift, number 3.
Beyonce.
I find number 3. I find surprising. No, I mean she does hit for me. Number 1, Taylor Swift. Number 2, Coldplay. Number 3, Pink. Pink was number 3.
Hell yeah,
last
good
year.
for Pink, dog.
Number 4, Luis Miguel, who I assume is another Latino superstar, which we could talk about Latino.
This doesn't include any of the
Asians.
Asians. Let's just put that out there. Pink Black or Black Pink or whatever the fuck they are. Killing all.
Yeah, because they don't even have to leave their country.
Bruce Springsteen, Rolling Stones. Number 7, Bad Bunny, the other Latino superstar I was alluding to. And then number 8, Zach Bryan.
That's crazy company.
And then Metallica, number 9, Madonna reunion tour or celebration tour, number 10.
A thing you got to realize about the way Morgan Wallen tours, if I'm not mistaken, too, is he'll do like, okay, here's a 10-show run in stadiums in Knoxville, South Bend, Alabama, Florida, and then he sells out these stadiums, and people go, "Holy shit, this dude's doing stadiums!" Yeah, on a 10-run tour.
Yeah,
and that's nothing to shake your nose at.
That's amazing.
Like,
I could
Zach
never.
Bryan's on
He
the
just
road.
be doing it right all the time.
Okay, all right. Let me go back to that real quick. Fuck, where did it go?
I just wanted to say he has fuck you money. Is all.
No, you're correct.
I know, but I just want to.
Probably one of the 3 biggest country music stars in the world right now at a time where country music's never been more popular. Morgan Wallen.
So, okay, I was thinking, I was like, I didn't know if that's last year. That's 2024. That, that's 2025 is ongoing. I was like, I don't even know if Morgan Wallen was on tour in 2024 or how much he was. According to whatever, right now, Morgan Wallen is on tour in 2025. And Zach Bryan last year at number 8 grossed $199 million on tour in 2024. Morgan Wallen is on pace for 2025 to make $300 million on tour this year, which would put him at number 4 on last year's list under Taylor, Coldplay, and Pink.
Point still made.
Well, no, but that sounds about right to me that he's about 2/3 as popular as the most popular guy in the genre. Mm-hmm. And that's without saying the N-word or doing these bullshit.
I was about to say, and
he
still feels
because I hate New York.
No, I hear you, but like it's kind of wild because like I don't know as much about him as you do, but I did know that like no, he's not just this little indie guy anymore. Like he's very popular, but like he still very much feels that way compared to Morgan Wallen. You know what I mean? He seems less, and I think this is attributed to his style. He seems less polished. He seems less PR'd. He just like it's wild to be in the place that he's at and still come as unfiltered as he is.
Well, let me say this about Morgan Wallen. I can't believe I'm about to say anything positive or even that could be cast as positive about him. But both of those guys, among the most popular country acts right now that I can think of off the top of my head, I might be able to come up with one if I keep going down the list, like maybe Lainey Wilson when we get down to the second tier. But up here, those 2 dudes are the most like came from a small town and made their dreams came true by talent. Now, Morgan's talent was like singing, doing whatever the fuck they told him to do and being good looking, but it was still there. I don't, that's not necessarily a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Like
where you're from is just where you're from.
right.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything special about either of them, but I do like commend them for making it in a world where everyone else was like, Florida Georgia Line was put together in a studio. I mean, those
Right.
dudes hate each other.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
the industry was like, y'all sing together. You know what I mean?
Well, Zach Bryan too, like this is, and I'm surely after this song, this will change. But interestingly enough, every old boy in Chickamauga I know really fucks with Zach Bryan pretty hard, and none of them. That's why I've like Morgan Wallen's popularity has always been peculiar to me, and I know it was specifically because he said the N word. Is that nobody I know listens to his shit? Like they don't actually listen to his stuff. Like I'm sure they'd be like, "Oh yeah, hell of a Patriot, that guy." But they listen to Zach Bryan, and I'm with you. Like I'm not his biggest fan, but like when his shit will pop up on my playlist because of Spotify's algorithm or whatever. I've never once wanted to turn it off. I dig it. Morgan Wallen, on the other hand, fucking kill me with rocks, you know. But yeah, like I don't
Morgan
know.
Wallen.
Do what?
Young people love Morgan Wallen.
And that's where it is.
I
now.
always
Now, a lot
also
of young
just
people love Zach Bryan too.
yeah, I always just so first of all, I did not know he was even. I thought there would definitely be a bigger gap between the two because in my head it's like yeah, I knew I said Isbell, Sturgill, Childers, whatever. I thought it was basically like that, where it's like, what the arenas or whatever, like big room, do the Greek in LA, like doing great, but still the
not the Stones,
but not stadiums, right? Which I thought
Right.
Morgan Wallen does stadiums. He does. I didn't know that he was actually on that level, despite being, also kind of beloved by that same type of crowd that likes Isbell and Childers.
That's a good spot to be.
He's
like
the biggest
that's
one
the
of
best.
that crowd.
That's the best spot.
I don't even know how you get that. That's
me
it
neither.
seems like
I
those
thought they were
things
kind of
buck up
mutually
against each
exclusive,
other.
exactly,
Yeah,
because
for
that's
sure.
what I was. And right now, the reason we're even talking about this story, that's happening with this new song is like part of the reason why, because it's always felt to me like you can't be a guy who would make a song like that and like keep it real or whatever.
Springsteen did it. That was a different time.
Yeah, but
though.
that was
that was before the internet happened and people could understand lyrics
in the modern era. But like, what you said about nobody listens to Morgan Wallen, I just always assumed that type of thing was like, it blew my mind. Well, I mean, not really. I kind of knew it, but when like Breaking Bad was on TV and everybody's like, "This is the best show of all time," whatever, and everybody, all my friends watched it and loved it. We talked about it all the time. God, this show fucking rules, and it does. And I didn't know a single goddamn person outside of my in-laws who watched Duck Dynasty, which was airing at the same time. But Duck Dynasty did it was literally
10 times.
15 times the viewership, like not even close. Like Breaking Bad was a tiny fraction of Duck Dynasty, despite the fact that I barely knew anybody that watched Duck Dynasty. I knew a ton of people that watched Breaking Bad, but that's
all in our own little bubble.
Yeah, right. And it's the whole swaths of this big dumb country that loves a lot of shit, that
that Hollywood like figuring that out.
That there's big swaths of dumb people in this country. Yeah.
No, just how many people they didn't give a shit about and how much
yeah.
money they will spend.
Yellowstone.
I was about to say Taylor Sheridan, dude. Taylor, they gave him the keys to an empire, whatever.
Leanne Morgan,
money.
Dude, they ignored how talented Leanne Morgan was for
years,
a decade.
Oh, longer
and then
than that.
They were like, oh shit, look at her Facebook followers. Maybe we should give her everything, and it's completely worked.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the smartest things I ever heard on this topic, and it came from one of the Trillbillies, Tom. The Trillbillies is like a political podcast. They are not in the entertainment business, but it was when Roseanne got canceled. And when Roseanne got canceled, Trillbilly Tom said, look, I don't like what she said, but I need y'all to understand. Every time we lose a season of Roseanne, we get 5 more of Cops, God damn it. Because these people are going to watch something.
Yeah. Dude. So I'm so glad you brought that up because I wasn't going to organically be able to shoehorn in this little piece of information that I know y'all know, but somehow I missed it. Like, I was actually telling Kirby, me and her were talking about it yesterday. It's like, man, the COVID years are so wild because like I'll be learning about stuff that happened in 2022 that like absolutely should have been on my radar. And I just found out Coolio died yesterday. I was like, what? Fucking Coolio died. And I looked at the year that he died, and it was like, right. People, we were still kind of on lockdown. Me and Amber were trying to get pregnant. I was in this you just miss it, right? Well, one thing that I missed was I knew that the Connors was going on without Roseanne. Like I knew that they were, but I didn't know how they handled that. And I didn't know that they literally made Roseanne die of an opioid overdose. Did you know that?
No,
I did not know that.
That's how she was written out of the show. Then the first episode, they're like, "Hey, we got to tell you about Roseanne." They're like, "What happened?" They're like, "She died of an opioid overdose." And I was like, "That's the most fucking on the nose shit I've ever
Right.
heard." It's so funny. Like they're like, "Fuck this bitch." You know what? She took too many perk 30s. That's what happened. That's what happened. Aunt Jackie's going, "I got you, baby." Y'all didn't know, so I'm so glad that I'm.
No.
Yeah, that's how she was written out of the show. Opioid overdose.
It was definitely oxys. Me and some of my buddies figured out recently that if your town moved on from perks to oxys,
Oh yeah.
then all of your brother's friends are dead.
Oh my
Like
God.
that is what
Yeah.
decides the whole generation had struggled for a few years versus the whole generation is dead or in prison is whether they moved on from perks to oxys or not.
Every friend that I buried before I was like 22, which was like a lot. It was it was all and it was all like the graduation of like for a while it was like, "Oh, just get a couple perks. Hey man, there ain't no problem with just a couple perks, have a couple beers," and it was great. And then like I found, not to get dark, but like when one of my best friends died, it had gotten so bad that like he clearly knew it was shameful because none of us knew he was melting oxys down and shooting it up. And it's like, oh damn, if we didn't know he was doing that, then he knew, oh my God, I'm in a bad place. You know what I mean? And no, you're correct. Like it really was, that was the pipeline.
You probably still have friends who never left perks who are just
Yeah.
functioning drug addicts right now.
Yeah, and they're good
That
dudes.
you may not know about, or maybe you do know about.
Well,
but if they moved
there's
on to oxys,
there's
it was
more that I don't.
rehab, prison, or death, or some mix of those. Speaking of my brothers getting baptized this weekend, what a whirlwind we've been on.
Nice free bath. I fucking like you. So you're right. I think there's a lot more than I know because, and I'm obviously not going to name any names. I found out about one the other day that had been secretly like still taking perks and hydros for like the past 15 years, and I had no idea. Like the most functioning member, great dude. I mean, I don't know how he is at home. You never know. But like, and when I found that out, I was like, oh, dude, there's way more than I think. Like, there's way more because if it's my buddies, some of them will position it like, I was thinking this weekend what might be a nice little treat. And it's like, I think you've been having them as a treat. You want me to join in, so you want to act like it's not an everyday thing, And of course I'm like, that would be a nice treat. That'd be a great treat, But they'd be treating themselves.
Perks are like in terms of death, pretty safe.
Yeah, they're great.
In terms of death,
don't do them.
They will ruin your life and they will make you want oxys.
Yes,
but
don't do them. It is a good time.
I thought that they had like ultimately kind of succeeded in making many of those things much harder to get. Which
they are. They're Schedule 1.
That's not saying much.
That's my hair on back.
They used to just give them out like fucking candy at Halloween in towns like ours, but they got the very hard to get now, and that's why people, heroin and like fent and all that stuff. I thought that's what like people were doing that, which is like worse maybe, but I didn't even know that. Actual pills, I didn't know that they were still really like sort of killing it in the game as they
still give them to meemaws.
Supplanted, right? Yeah,
they still give them to meemaws, and like I think what happens is like sometimes how some old people really don't realize what they got. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, I don't want to take those. Those will probably hurt my stomach, and it's like, oh, if you just got to get through that little part of it. Like you just got to get through that little, just like I was prescribed ADD medication in high school and I stopped taking it because I was like, I can't eat. This is bullshit. And I was like, man, I didn't know what I had. I didn't know it was, if they'd have told me, by the way, this is basically meth, I'd have figured a way to keep it in my life. But I think, a lot of old people, they're just like, oh, that'll hurt my stomach or something. But they keep their kid that goes and picks up all their stuff, keeps the prescription going, and just like, I got refill or shit,
Right.
Just relevant to our conversation, text just came in on the wire and it popped up on my computer. So then I had to go read it because it was, on point. According to my favorite journalist, DJ Lewis.
Yeah, mine too.
Khashoggi was probably a spook.
Like,
okay.
A CIA or some other asset operative. And
that's the journalist that got their head cut off, right?
The first one.
The first
they
years ago.
Killed him because he was a spy, not because he was a journalist. Now, don't conflate that with DJ defending the Saudis. His thing is,
it's like, oh, well, hell then. You got to kill a spy.
Well, what he was saying is, I can't believe people are bringing up Khashoggi. They murder people for smoking weed there,
Right.
But everyone's up in arms because they murdered a guy who was probably selling their secrets.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, you got to kill those. I mean, you know,
By the
obviously
way,
we
I've
would
got
like,
nothing to verify this. Now, I'll also tell you though, my man's been batting about 990 lately.
dude, he crushes, man. He's like that fucking, somebody had this bit one time about like, what if all that crazy shit the homeless people was saying was actually the only truth in the whole world or something. And I know DJ's not homeless, but I'm just saying,
Say, where are you going with this? Because
I
it's
know he's
starting
not-
to sound a little shitty.
no. I know he's not homeless, but like DJ will say some crazy shit and you'll think like, surely not. But then you look out into the world and you're like, well, the world is so insane. Why? And like, he is right. Like DJ called a lot of this alien shit years ago. And I've never fact checked that motherfucker. If DJ says it, I just go, that's it. Why wouldn't he have done his research?
Well, we had a run, and me and I have talked about this. He had a run on Into the Biscuit and then Gravy Baby, my new podcast. Listen to Gravy Baby wherever you get your podcasts. He was about 50-50.
That's good though.
And I
still.
think he honed in on his sources,
Mhm.
and that's where he got up to where he's at now.
Well, I just know with DJ,
They
like,
cut the ones out that was lying to him.
you wouldn't think someone with that many tattoos would be like this, but that's a due diligence motherfucker. Like if he hears something, he's not just going to go, okay, take it at face value. Like he's going to read every fucking thing. He'll listen to this motherfucker will send us a link. He's like, hey, have y'all listened to this yet? And it'll be a 5.5 hour episode podcast. Is like, ain't got around to it yet, but I'm glad you did. Tell me the highlights. Chat DJT. Give me the fucking just,
and
you know,
I'm
run
saying
them
there
down.
was a time where he had maybe wasted 5 hours.
Yeah, well,
and
sure.
now it seems like,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you this too. There's a thing been going on lately where him and Smart Mark agree with each other, but Smart Mark's 2 days later.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Very
I put fucking Mark in his place. Always hits.
He
for me,
should.
you know?
He should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking sack of shit.
I don't know how he
Although,
would.
I about
Mark
to say,
says nothing, and then when he says the thing, he's right. It's just 2 days after DJ. So it's not really putting Mark in his place.
DJ takes a
you're
bigger
right.
swing. DJ's more courageous than Mark and always has
Yeah.
been. Mark's
I
a
gotta-
coward. Mark's right, but he's a coward. You know, is what I'm saying.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
I don't either. I just like to shit on him. It's become a new thing.
I mean, I will say the idea of DJ and Mark becoming aligned on calling shots or whatever should be alarming to everyone listening.
That's a
right
recession
now.
indicator.
The world.
That's the other side of this. It's personally entertaining and then
Yeah,
socially
but-
very scary. For
Scary,
us.
yeah, frightening. Yeah, right.
Globally a nightmare. Huh.
Our producer is named Mark. We've taken to calling him Smarter Mark because he's a sensitive boy. He's like, what do you mean I'm not Smart Mark? And
Right.
he's also the producer. So anyway, watching his evolution on DJ has been in that note has been quite because it went from what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
To damn, okay. To so it's so bad. Like this is how bad it is.
Uh-huh.
Because he started out as very like, look, man, I'm a liberal guy, but y'all seem like you're real doomy. To like, I guess Trump's doing fascism, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean, I hear you. It's hard to be optimistic and read up on stuff. And, you know, I'm really having to like, I was actually talking to my sister about it today. I was like, man, for what I do, I need a lot of information, whether it's to parody something or whether it's just, I want to be aware of what's going on in my world, in my country, because I have a child and I think it's our responsibility. But the day after Charlie Kirk died, I had just, it was 9/11, which sucks because again, that's usually my favorite day on Twitter, but Charlie Kirk fucking ruined it, and it became just Charlie Kirk 2 Electric Boogaloo Day. And instead of what we needed to be doing was like hilarious 9/11 shirts, memes, all that stuff, and it broke me. Not being able to celebrate 9/11 really broke me, and I deleted my Twitter, and I am very proud of myself because I haven't gone back. I haven't put it back on my phone. I haven't looked at it on my computer, and I'm telling you, dude. I feel so good. I feel so much better, right? But I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, that's because you're not doom scrolling. You're not seeing all this negativity. But then I'm like, yes, but also is what you're doing putting your head in the sand? And it's easier for you to be happy because you're not having to see that, you know? And I'm like, yeah, but I still read the news. And I think with Twitter, it's like, I want it to be like every day there's probably 2 things that you need to go, let's check on that. But on Twitter, you see 20 and you don't know which one's which and you just get overwhelmed. But I'm starting to sense that my happiness is coming at the cost of me being someone who could be borderline flippant now on stuff because I'm not as tuned in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that there can be a gap, but a healthy gap between the two.
And maybe I'm there. I don't know.
Full on burying your head in the sand and refusing to engage, not knowing shit about fuck ever.
Yeah, versus, I could never
versus straight up doom scrolling and just like freaking and bumming yourself out all the time. It's like as though you're perversely addicted to it or whatever. You don't have you can live in the middle of those two and just generally, keep up enough with what's going on without, driving yourself off a cliff.
Well, I suggest, unless you're following Trey, because I don't want him to lose any followers on Twitter, but I would suggest it to people because I've still got the news app on my phone and it still gives me the highlights every day. And I feel and then also our text thread, usually if it's real important, one of y'all's going to bring it up and then I can go and send a link or whatever. But it's been fucking awesome not having to know what Cat Turd thinks, not having to know.
See, dude, sometimes I want to know. I keep it around. I post when there's still.
I know for your job.
But I also, when I'm about to make a video and stuff, I'll go on there because it's I want to see what they be freaking out about or what they're saying or whatever, so I can respond to it. Having said that, I don't enjoy the experience, obviously. And dude, Twitter lately, post Elon Twitter, and especially fucking late stage post Elon Twitter where we're at right now, it's
Amsterdam, dude.
I'd say 5, 6 of the most upsetting moment, psychologically upsetting or disturbing or whatever, just really, really bothersome internal moments I've had have all been induced by Twitter in the past, 2-3 weeks, whatever. Like you said, dude,
couldn't agree more.
Right after Charlie Kirk being on Twitter was just deeply unsettling in so many ways. And then and then so many other shit too. And then lower level stuff where you see people saying dumb shit about fucking, I saw earlier on Twitter some dude had made an AI video of a tank. Again, it's AI, it's all fake, but a tank plowing through traffic at 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it said something like me and all my homies on the way to Chicago to fucking, whatever, crush Antifa or some shit like
the
that.
Italians,
help our ICE brothers out from fucking. But anyway, just dumb shit like that I see.
No,
it
we
also
make
bothers
icy,
me
not ice,
because it makes me want to, just engage
Italian
with it,
ice.
But I don't. Yeah.
Italian ice.
And in both scenarios, it's just ice. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Yeah. What are we doing here? No, I know. But you're right. But it's a bad place. And don't get me wrong. Because on Instagram, I'm still wasting a lot of time. It just doesn't feel as doomy. What?
Trey, why are you on there?
Huh? I already said, because I still just, anytime I make a video, I post it on every one of them, including Twitter.
You can do that without getting on there, though.
I know. The only reason I said already, I do it because I want to get an idea of what the troglodytes are hollered about, so that I can make fun of it.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Twitter's
and I think that works
anymore. I think Twitter now is the place for cesspool.
Right.
Yeah,
it's even worse. It's definitely a fucking cesspool. There's no doubt about that.
You might need to get back to Facebook. And then you can see a lot of troglodytes with way less, we're going to murder people.
I'm so
happy
happy.
Put a bow on the DJ thing. This is just a great point. And honestly, this has convicted me in my rantings about the Riaja Comedy Festival. They literally cane women for being raped.
Yeah. It's their fault if they raped over there.
Mm-hmm.
And we're over here damn, I can't believe you support people who murdered a spy. I mean, that really is a good point he's making.
Yeah.
I would like to think that most people that are on the right side of that whole thing are pretty not cool with, the caning of people who are raped and stuff too. I definitely saw plenty of other people saying, not just the journalist stuff, but saying human rights abuses, gay people, women, people were hollering all that too, I feel like, in the run up to this. But just real quick about Twitter, just want to say it's not even just politics in terms of it being a cesspool or whatever. It don't even have to be completely political at all. The other day, one of y'all sent to our group
It was
chat
me
a
because you texted
football, a football highlight from a college football game. It's literally all it was, just a sweet play, a punt return or something. I clicked it from our group chat. It brought up Twitter, and now Twitter auto plays videos. You don't have to swipe or whatever. When it gets to the end of the video, it'll just auto play, an algorithm fed video to you or something. So Corey sends a highlight clip of a punt return. I watch it. It ends, and Twitter auto plays for me a video of a woman sucking a dick on a beach that's poking up out of the sand. She's walking down the beach, and there's a hard dick poking up out of the sand, and she bends down and starts sucking it.
I guess AI is getting better. They know what we like.
That's so dangerous, dude. Don't do that. I'm not saying don't suck the dick, but I'm saying don't climb in there. Like, I've seen a lot of video, like people think it's a fun, like, oh, we're gonna dig a hole in the sand and we'll get in here.
Takeaway from this story.
I'm just saying.
He is right though. That is like an people don't know how much of an underrated danger that is. He's right.
It's so dangerous. Like, it's the only way that we're ever going to encounter any type of quicksand is if we make it ourselves. But like when people are digging them by the ocean and let the water come in, when that thing caves over, Mark Henry couldn't pull your ass out, son. Like please don't do that. Like, as a father, I'm telling you, don't do that.
Ended with a good PSA this week. We did. All right, listen, see me on the road, which I don't get back to until early November. But then,
hey, good for you, buddy.
Yeah, Madison, Milwaukee, Dallas, Oklahoma City, Largo in Los Angeles, Fort Wayne, Indiana. I just added, not bragging, in December, and then right before Christmas at Zany's in Nashville, like every year. Me, Corey, and Drew will be all together for WellRED home for the holidays, so please come to that. And then I got a whole bunch of 2026 to Sacramento, South Carolina, Wilmington, bunch of places. So go to TreyCrowder.com, please, and come see me for the love of God. Thank you.
I will be in Huntsville, Alabama, October 17th. That is less than 2 weeks away. Someone dropped a date. I've replaced him. That's the thing you're allowed to do. Drop a date. If you don't want to do the comedy show, you're allowed to not. October 17th at Levity Live in Huntsville. Please come see me. I don't mind filling in. I like getting the call. I'm not really on the road. It's nice to be remembered.
I love it.
Like this, you get so tense about that. Of like, okay, did the other person sell any tickets? And if they didn't, do I have to sell 300 in the next 2 fucking weeks? I can't do that.
Yeah, but you don't. That's the thing.
Trey fucking Crowder. Yeah. Come to the show, Huntsville, Alabama. Yeah. If you're within an hour, come to the show. I'll rub your butt.
Yeah, I'm not on tour, but I will be there in December at Zany's, which will be a lot of fun. I'll be doing stuff over at WeLoveCorey.com. Check it out. My latest entry, aside from put a public domain Sleepy Time Theater, where I'm reading you a bedtime story, and right now it's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. My latest entry was an essay where I took just a regular text that I had sent Trey while I was high in the woods that was insanely long and turned it into an essay about how our big butt fetishism is all to be, we have J-Lo to thank for it. For the big butt of science. And so you can check that out. It's over there at WeLoveCorey.com. Listen to all our podcasts, Weekly Skews, Gravy Baby, Putting on Airs. Come see us on the road. And thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew.
Fart.
Fart butt.